All right, yeah, we're taking a look at this Boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it's got BSS for its local search or its city search on Google. So we're here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pinned post, whatever, home post. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So if we're rising, we're probably getting a mix of all different intent people, high intent people, mid intent people, low intent people. If we're falling, we're missing some groups somewhere. Now, here we're focusing on BSS way on the left. We're focused on the highest intent people. People searching for boudoir photo shoot, social search, searching on social media, like literally typing in searching, and Google search as well. And way over on the right, we got our other brand talking about BLCS. That other brand is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where Facebook ads to the lowest intent people, but there's the largest amount of them. Right now with that, we're only working with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ads. But we're here for BSS. So boudoir search sameness is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. We're basically dead already, kind of out of the gate at that point, because we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to get the bulk of the market here, the 80%, approximately 80%. That's the bulk. We want to be in front of them by being on page 1 on Google. But even 1 slot is not enough, because 1 slot, if every other boudoir photographer has 1 slot, that means there's us and 9 other boudoir photographers on there. We aren't looking anything amazing because we only show up once, same as everyone else. So buyers are just going to click down the list, open everyone in a new tab, contact everyone, get price quotes, just because it's easier to click that than to click the next page button. And we already know approximately 80% of people never go to page 2. Now we also have a kind of our own GBC minimum where we want to hit 3 out of 10 on page 1. More on that later. Now 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. Extremely common, but it's not normal to have that few number of page 1 Google slots. That means there's deeper root causes at play. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the false belief of page 1 equality, which basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, that's when someone gets a new iPhone. They're throwing out their Google My Business profile, throwing out their website saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, or they get a new camera and they're posting them on Facebook groups saying they now shoot boudoir. And also during COVID, people losing their jobs, can't work, became boudoir photographers as well. It's kind of a anomaly. Causing market saturation, which caused a big glut of boudoir photographers to enter the market because people gotta earn money. Now, kind of the most dangerous one though is the false belief of page 1 equality. So the false belief of page 1 equality is what I have seen as the number 1 killer of boudoir photography businesses, far and above anything else. And it's basically page 1 equality, which never had a name before, but people just kind of auto accepted it, where it's like, oh yeah, I got 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and there's some market saturation. All right, it pushed me by 1 slot. Now, I'm on page 2, and hopefully they turn their website off so I can maybe go back onto page 1, but page 2, okay, just these things happen, and blah blah blah. It's like it's normal to be kicked off page 1, go to page 2, and it's normal to not have as many first page links on Google as we want that we can take whenever we want. And because people believe this page 1 equality, or more likely they accept it without even knowing it exists, they do not try to solve it because they don't know this false barrier, this false box that they believe is real, or they don't even see that they're in a box, is actually not real at all, and they can solve it, and they don't have to believe in it because it's not real anyways. And I know it's not real because I myself went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 of Google in 10 days. So we'll see more about that in a little bit. But this false belief of page 1 equality is kind of, I lose my page 1 slots on Google. It is what it is. The number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So we got our universe building here on the right. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. But we now know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. It's a proprietary methodology that we developed, and I'll be showing you the results we got for ourselves using it. And this is the only solution I have ever seen that can successfully outcompete and render market saturation as a non-issue. And I feel it's better than ads, Google or Facebook ads, because there's no momentum associated with them. With those, you stop spending, they stop showing. With this S-cubed methodology has its own momentum where it continues on. So it has momentum. Not infinite momentum, but it has its own momentum. And it's the only thing I've seen that allows us to take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, rendering market saturation effectively kind of a non-issue. And kind of thinking of it this way, if we're in Boise, Idaho, and there's over, we're a boudoir photographer, and there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers. So a million boudoir photographers in the market. Everyone's got their own website to try to, and trying to rank page 1 on Google. But if we crank S-cubed methodology like up to the max, and let's say on all social search, we're ranked, the first 300 slots for the highest intent keyword for people looking for a boudoir photo shoot in our city. And that flows to Google, so we're ranked the first 300 slots on Google as well. They'll flow back to us in our social profiles or our website. Then we actually, if anyone's searching for a boudoir photo shoot in our city, they're basically unable to even find any competitors because they ain't scrolling to slot 301. I mean, there's 10 organic slots per Google page. If we're occupying 300, they got to go to page 31 to basically see any of our competitors with Google organic search. So if they can't find any of our competitors, how are they going to buy from them? So even if there are a million, but 999,999 competitors in our boudoir, our city competing against us, if we dominate where the highest intent people are searching, our business will go along fine. Now, once true with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. We also get a secondary bonus of kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So again, we know that once we go to page 2, or a competing boudoir photographer goes to page 2, approximately 80% or approximately 20% will go there. 80% will never even see them because approximately 80% of Google searches stay on page 1. So there's kind of a extra bonus of ranking more slots page 1 on Google. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So we're no longer 0-1 slots. G slots is, that's okay. Here we recommend GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Page 1 on Google, because 1 slot now, 0 slots now, 1 slot now, we look the same as everyone else. 2 slots, we still kind of look the same as everyone else, but also there's a chance someone else has 2 slots. But if we got 3 slots or more, we're definitely out competing the people with 1 slot because they only see their name once. People with 2 slots, that's kind of rare. So, but we'll also be out competing them. But with 3 slots, you're gonna be like, man, kind of subconsciously, why does Google recommend these people so much? They must be good. Subconscious, it's all there. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So, got our full micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness It's caused by market saturation, the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We now have the solution S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Also, for those that want to dominate, we'll keep going. 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 slots. We'll just keep building that momentum. So now my results doing this, I wanted to rank, basically I want to dominate the keyword BLCS boudoir. So I employed S cubed methodology and go down to organic. So Instagram, organic slot 1, me. Or slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, page 1, organic, Google. Went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. And so anyone searching for this keyword, who are they coming to? Who are they going to click on? Obviously me, the dude with 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. So this is a super great result using S cubed methodology. And onto the main event here. Gonna check out this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if their local search or city search, if they got BSS for either of them or both of them or what. It's going to Haymarket, Virginia. Okay. Haymarket, Virginia. No, we're at DMV right now. Here's Haymarket. All right, let's see what we got here. So, all right, can't generate AI overview right now. All right, so we got 1. We got 2. We got 2. We got 3. All right. All right, we got 3. Nice. So good. So we do not have ESS, and we hit the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. All right, perfect for a local search. That's good. Good start. Let's look at DMV. All right. See how many we got here. Let's see. Not seeing us at all. All right, so we are 0 out of slots, page 1 on Google for city search. So we do have BSS for city search, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 for Google search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you've had BSS for at least one of them. So, you're at 0 or 1 slots, page 1 Google search for, those terms, or at least one of those terms. Or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for any of the local or city searches, any of those keyword highest intent boudoir buyer keyword searches. And you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So you're seeing, hey, I can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google search as I want for as many keywords as I want, and I don't have to sit around and wait and hope Google, people leave the market and Google is nice enough to put me on page 1. And you're seeing that S cubed methodology is the only way to get you there, actually get you those extra slots, page 1 in Google. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots, page 1 in Google. You really like the second initial benefit, which is basically kicking your competitors off. You're basically getting to decide who becomes a disappearing boudoir photographer and whose business, boudoir photography business, starts to disappear by dominating page 1 Google search. You also understand market saturation, and you are, people eventually get more gear, the market becomes more saturated, and as a result, you are looking ahead, saying, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now. AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs into the future as AI gets better and better. And you're like, man, I don't simply need these links on Google, page 1 Google. I actually have to fortify my page 1 position. So no current boudoir photographers in my area can ever rank page 1. And also no future boudoir photographers that come from AI taking their jobs can ever rank page 1. Basically, like I need to have so many links of my links Google wants to rank on page 1 that they're actually backstacking me to page 2, 3, and 4. And you're actually deciding that the best way to get all these links, again, as cubed methodology, get all these backstack of links on all these future pages, and really actually fortify your position, kind of like the levees in Nolens, Louisiana. It's kind of fortifying the walls against the ocean because the city is below water. So you're seeing SQ methodology is the only solution for that. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, have boudoir search visibility because you need these things on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also liking the future benefits of SQ methodology, or basically you understand that as we execute SQ methodology successfully every single day, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns that are like plugged into your kind of like your cluster, your brand name, your business name, your social handles names, kind of like plugging these invisible thematic keyword columns in. And every day we build that up, we're increasing the probability that you are the one recommended up here, the AI overview and search, because you're just building up so much authority, repetition, relevance, age, with all these different keywords, the size, intent, boudoir buyer keywords. And so you actually want, you want that increased probability percentage every day of being recommended here, because it also comes with increased probability of being recommended through all the AI searches, all the AI search apps. We're building up this like massive backend AI keyword search momentum. It's invisible, but every day it builds and builds and builds. And so it's ChatGPT, that is Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. These are getting more and more popular every single day, increasing search volume every single day, with Google standard search, basically decreasing every single day. And last time I did boudoir photographer search in a city, I used ChatGPT. It returned me 3. I actually did a manual search with Google and Facebook, and dude, I found like 60. So it's like, man, we gotta, we gotta find any way possible to get AI search to recommend us, and you realize an SQ methodology is the best way to get these invisible thematic keyword columns built around your brand, your business, your names, all that. You're also like the future benefit of, kind of building your large, well-known brand in your area, making it harder for market saturation to ever affect you approximately 8x faster, utilizing SQ methodology. And you also understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer for your city. So you actually you get all these benefits, kicking your competitors off page one, and your competitors actually not being able to use these benefits, and you actually build up a large, massive gap in front of them, ahead of them, with these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of this keyword backend AI keyword mindshare momentum that you'll be able to achieve and not your competitors. And that's the reason you decide to be a first mover, adopting this technology, because you understand the converse. If your competitor is the first mover instead, then what actually happens is, they're getting all their links to page one, they're kicking you off page two, off page one, onto page two, onto page, maybe on page three, and fortifying their position so you can basically never get on page one again. Taking all the slots, turn up social search, so you're basically become unfindable. And then we're actually, building up that massive gap AI backend keyword mindshare way ahead of you, maybe to big enough where you can never even catch up. And what actually happens is, for you to compete, you would actually have to rederive SQ methodology, or actually derive it yourself for the first time. You would never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. And then if you did that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor have already built up against you, because we'd still be executing it every day. So in order to close that gap, you'd have to out execute us, 2 or 3x every single day to begin pulling it back to back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum from me and your competitor back towards yourself. But again, you wouldn't have 100% confidence even putting the time to do that, because you would never actually know if you've derived this technology correctly in the first place. And you're saying dude, who would even have 80 hours per day to do all this anyways? So you decide, screw that. You've decided you're going to be the first mover of your city. You decide you don't want to miss out on this. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But if you want, but when we do open, no, even if you want to contact us, you cannot. Even if you want to work with us right now, you cannot. But when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, it will be announced. Shoot us a DM then, and then we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.